Alright guys, so today we're going to try to start a new series. I don't know how long it'll last. Maybe if everybody likes it, or if it has any good responses, I will do more of them. But this is kind of going to be like a Metal Complex Knife Guy episode. I really like those like rambling episodes that he does. I'm going to do a similar one called Walk and Talk. I don't know, I thought the name was cool because, old stuff, walk and talk. And I'm going to be walking and talking with a knife in my hand about random topics. The first one today is going to be my 5, not necessarily in any order, but my 5 most wanted aspects in a knife. Like when I'm looking for an EDC knife, what's the 5 things that I look for most? And I've brought today both my Oz Roosevelt, and I also have in my other pocket my BM Vector, because those are the 2 knives I carry by far the most, and they represent what I like in a knife most. So I don't really have an order, like I said, but we'll try to go in somewhat order. Number 1 is definitely going to be aesthetics. So if a knife doesn't look good, I'm not interested. I don't care if it has the best steel. I don't care if it has good ergos. Like, if it doesn't look cool, I don't want it. So, like the Oz, I think it looks really good, especially with the carbon fiber and the hand satin blade, Timascus. Like, to me, this is a good looking knife. So, well, you guys are probably going to hear a bunch of dogs and everything else in the distance because I'm in the middle of the woods. But, yeah, so aesthetics is definitely number 1 for me, list or not. Yeah, if a knife doesn't look good, I don't want it. Next is going to be, we'll do steel and materials. So, for me, titanium is a must as far as if you're going to do a lock or even a liner lock. But if you're going to do a frame lock, it has to be titanium. I'm not going to do, steel or even stainless steel, just because it's heavy and titanium feels a lot more premium. So, I don't know. I feel like everybody should be using titanium at this point, especially in the higher end stuff. And even the lower end stuff, I mean, you can get titanium frame locks now for $50-$60, like good ones. Actually, yeah, I think you can get them even less, because I think the QSP knives, I don't know if they're titanium frame locks, but you can even get those pretty cheap for, $30-$40. I'm not sure if they're frame locks. Maybe the cheap ones are liner locks. I don't know. But that's the best part of this, is I'm going to ramble and nobody can say anything about it. And yeah, we'll go right. So, yeah, definitely materials. So titanium, and then also, for me, anybody who knows me on Reddit or even Instagram, carbon fiber is a must for almost every knife I have. Granted, anymore I have a lot of full tie stuff, but carbon fiber, we're going to have a whole entire episode one day just talking about carbon fiber, because I love it so much. You have like this stuff, this side cut. Oh, side cut's good. And then while we're at it, we'll bring out the Vector. Anything from carbon plate is an absolute winner in my book. This is my second favorite material, the blue marble. The best is definitely the purple marble. But yeah, carbon fiber is an instant win for me on any knife, for the most part. There's some carbon fibers like the newer, I'm not sure who makes it. There's a newer carbon fiber that's got either aluminum foil or it's like some kind of silver foil. I don't really love that stuff. I think it looks kind of, I don't know, cheap, if carbon fiber can look cheap. But yeah, it's just not good. Oh, also to touch on aesthetics, this knife is kind of a weird one for me, because I don't normally like tantos, but this knife as a tanto is just meant to be. These lines just work with a tanto. Especially, this knife looks great closed, like the harpoon tanto. So, that's just a touch on aesthetics real quick. Like, the blade shape doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if a blade is a certain shape for being used. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Wharncliffes, but like, just because a knife is a Wharncliffe or a knife is a tanto or a knife is a drop point doesn't make me like it more or less. It's more about the overall lines. So, yeah. But to go back to materials, yeah, carbon fiber, absolute win. I like micarta, especially the new, not new, but it's become more popular, the Mexican blanket micarta, that stuff. Oh, so good. Especially, Geo Hansen makes it. I know they make the Mexican blanket, but they also make, I think it's called electric blanket, maybe. That stuff is insane. Absolutely love it. I want to get a scale for something made in that material. Not sure what, but yeah. Titanium, carbon, micarta, some. I know a lot of people are really hyped on the new Ultim, and Ultim's pretty good too, but it's pretty good looking. I haven't actually had anything in it yet. I have a Sabenza scale that I'm getting made by Carbodize that's an Ultim, but so I'll have more on that material. But yeah, second is materials, and then I kind of wrap steel into this as well, only because it's North Carolina. You know, it's nice out here right now. It's, you know, 80s or something, but when it's hot and I'm out here running, like, I rust almost anything, which is why this is M390, which is good. You know, it doesn't really rust. I've had a little bit of rust around the not stop pin, the thumb stud, but that was just because I wasn't cleaning it good enough and it wiped off fairly easy. But the main reason, or one of the main reasons the Oz is so good, along with all the other ones I'm talking about, is this steel. This one's in Z-Finite, but he made them in LC200N, and he also makes all of them now in MagnaCut, which is, to me, my favorite steel, just because it's not rust proof, but super rust resistant, and it still keeps a good edge. And like, I don't care about edge resistance a ton, or edge retention a ton, as long as it's like S30B-ish or better, which is pretty much Z-Finite or LC200N. Like, as long as it's got that good of edge retention, I'm good. I mean, I can touch up my knives every once in a while. I'm not a pro sharpener, but I can touch up my knives every once in a while. It's not a big deal. Also, yeah, anything that like D2, horrible. Don't even, like, that, a knife being D2, as far as for me, like an actual EDC knife that I would keep and carry, kills it. If it's not stainless, I don't want it. Don't want it at all. Don't care about it. I don't care if it's the best looking knife ever, if it's, you know, got perfect ergos, which we'll talk about, everything. If it has D2 or any other non-stainless steel, I don't want it, because I'm going to rust it, because I'm a sweaty person, and it's not going to work well for me. Yeah, okay, this is where the list kind of goes to nothing. That's why I said that in the beginning. We'll go with ergos. As you can see, the Oz, perfect ergos. I mean, you can choke up. It's amazing. I've had knives. The Spectre's, not Spectre, the Scout's kind of one of them. I guess the Spectre too, where the ergos are like 85% perfect, but if they're tweaked just a little bit from my hands, they might have, you know, well, the Spectre's still around, but the Scout might have stayed around. Same with a few other knives I've had, like, bad ergos don't kill a knife for me, but good ergos can make a knife for me. So ergos are definitely on the list as far as I want good ergos. Like this, good ergos makes it even better. Let me get the Vector, because the Vector doesn't have perfect ergos, but it has really good. Like, I have a little hot spot right there, but if I just kind of readjust my hand, everything's good. And this, having the Poon, oh, good stuff. So ergos are definitely up there. Next is good pocket clip. I'm leaving this out because this is by far my favorite pocket clip on any knife. I want every maker to look at JG Scout and BM Vector. Look at both of those knives when you're designing a pocket clip, because they know how to make a perfect pocket clip. Doesn't have a crazy amount of, I don't know what you would call that. Doesn't poke out a ton, but it's got a perfect amount of spring tension. It's not super duper fancy. It doesn't need to be, but even though they make fancy ones. But like, just keep it nice and simple. It's got 2 holes. It mounts on, easy peasy, nothing crazy. Like, this is a good pocket clip. It also has really good retention in the pocket. It doesn't grip the pocket too much, but I've never once been worried about it flying out. On the other hand, if you're going to do a 3D milled clip, this is pretty good. I wish this one had a tight bit less retention, just because sometimes depending on the pants, let me see. Yeah, so like the shorts I normally wear, this actually catches a little bit too much for me, as far as retention wise. But like the ramp is good, so putting it in and out of the pocket's really easy. Yeah, putting it in and out of the pocket's really easy. Just sometimes taking out, it catches a little bit. But that's going to highly depend on what pants you wear. Regardless, pocket clip is a big thing. I've had many knives actually ruined by the pocket clip. So I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. Okay, good example. Hinder's XM18, anything that has like that hardware, you can get an MXG Gear 3D milled pocket clip. Normal Hinder pocket clip, perfectly fine. At least for me. I don't think, it doesn't look the greatest, but it is what it is. It doesn't look bad. And in and out of the pocket's not bad either. But I had an MXG Gear, I guess it's 3D milled titanium. It's not like a deep tear or anything. But I had one of those that came with the knife that I had. And let me tell you something. Horrible. I mean, I don't know why anybody in their right mind would ever put that on. Like, if they're carrying the knife, then I don't know. They're stronger than me. Or maybe they fixed the pocket clip. Maybe they bent it out or something. But horrible. Oh, actually, this made me think of another one. The Shirogorov Hation Zero. I don't remember which. It was one of the Hations. The pocket clip on those, the first two I had was actually really good. The pocket clip I liked because they look good and they have the ramp on them is really good. So like, they slide in the pocket really easily. But for goodness sake, the tension to get that thing out was horrible. I mean, it might as well just pull your entire pants completely up. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're wearing a belt, you're pulling your pants up with you when you take the knife out. Like, I don't know what happened on that third one I had, but it was horrible. I actually had to take it and bend it out a little bit. And even then it wasn't the greatest. So pocket clip, definitely, it's not going to make a knife. It will break a knife though. Like, if a knife has a crappy pocket clip, I'm not going to carry it. Trying to think, in my collection right now, the only one that's on the limit for that is it's got to be the Herman Sting. Only because, so I had Johnny T build an aftermarket pocket clip out of Damascus for me. And while it works great, or it looks great, it functions just like the stock one, which isn't great just because it's so skinny. So it drags a little bit, but more importantly, it's weird. It drags, but also it is like, it doesn't feel like it retains in the pocket well. Like, I'm not worried about it falling out, but out of all my knives, it's the one that could definitely fall out the easiest. So that doesn't kill the knife, but I wish if it had a better pocket clip, I'd like a lot more. So I don't know, that's weird. Let's see, what's my fifth one? Oh yeah, maker / I guess where it's made, we'll call it. Like, if it's an American designer, but it's made overseas in China or wherever, it doesn't kill a knife completely. Like, there's a new guy, I think his name is TW Price, and he makes the knife called the Dawn, but it's made by Riot. That doesn't kill the knife at all. You know, Riot does good stuff. I think it's Riot, might be Wii, I don't know, Best Tech, one of those guys. It doesn't kill the knife, but like, I wish it was made in America. I think most Americans feel that way. They wish the knife was made in America, especially, you know, it's an American maker. We like to support our people. If you're German, you want a knife made in Germany, most likely. I don't know. But that doesn't kill a knife necessarily, but there is some knives I'm like, it's made in China. I don't love that. I don't hate it, but I wish it was made in America. On the other hand, if a knife is made in America, that will make me be willing to buy it a lot more, and not a ton more. You know, if everything else sucks, I'm not going to buy a crappy American-made knife. Like, I'm not full of Kershaws around here. But if a knife is made in America and everything else is good, it makes me more inclined to buy it. As I say this, and I'm holding up a South American-made or South African maker. On the other hand, if a maker, I guess that's kind of why I put maker / where it's made. If a maker is a dick, I'm gonna have a good example. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but I think his name is Maverick Concept or Maverick Customs. I don't know. He was really big on Reddit back in the day, and not huge, but he made a lot of knives and sold them on Reddit back in the day. And now he does a lot of Facebook and Instagram stuff. But for example, his knives are absolutely incredible. I love them. If, you know, they look good, the Ergos look good, the price isn't bad considering to me for what you get. But the guy, I posted some Oz hardware on Facebook, just trying to get rid of it because I'd bought 150 scale screws because you had to buy them in a bundle and this and that. And I was trying to just get rid of them. I think I was in the end making like $30, and I had to ship out, 20 sets of hardware? I don't know. But basically, the guy was just being a dick, saying I shouldn't be ripping people off and I should just mail them out, shouldn't make any money, this and that. And it completely ruined ever wanting one of his knives. Like, I went from, that was on my buy list, like, definitely wanted to get one day, to, I'm good, I don't need one, there's other makers out there. And that same thing goes the other way. This Vector, okay, told the story a few times. I think I actually told it in my Vector review. This Vector had an issue when I sold it before. Had an issue, I'll go over it real quick. New owner, made the lock fail. I don't know if I sold it with a locking or failing lock, is what it is, whatever. The maker, Bradley Marius, whatever, I get it wrong every time. Bradley, I reached out to Bradley and we talked. He was like, you know what? You always, share it on Instagram. You're a super cool guy. And I'm going to cover everything. Here's the warranty info guy, which is Sean Campbell. He said, send it to him. Everything will get taken care of. Tell me how much it is. Sent it over there. Got it back within a week or something. Told him, hey man, it's $100. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Hey man, it's $100. Instantly, he sent me $100 PayPal. Hey, I really appreciate you, buying my knives, sharing it. And that was all good. And that makes me respect a maker so much more and want to keep his knives. Like, there's many reasons I'm going to keep this knife for a while, but even if I ever sell this knife, it'll be because I got another one with a different scale material. But more importantly, I will support Bradley pretty much no matter what. If he goes out and kills 5 people, I'm probably not going to support him anymore. But I don't think that's going to happen. So regardless, I'm going to keep supporting Bradley because he's an awesome maker. So if a maker's awesome, I'm going to support them, if I can. If I like their design and everything, I'm going to support them. If a maker's dick, I'm not going to support them. Simple as that. Trying to think if there's any other good examples. Those are just the two that ring a bell in my head. Daniel Oz, for this, we'll bring the Oz back out. So when I was at Blade Show, Daniel Oz and his brother, God, I can't remember his brother's name right now. Both those guys came up and we talked over the course of like the 2 or 3 days for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Those guys are super cool. Like, that is the cherry on top of this knife. This is why I will always have an Oz in my collection. Probably this one. If I ever get another one, I don't even know what I would change on this one. But that guy is one of the coolest makers in the entire industry. He's got a perfect knife in every way to me. I know others think it's overhyped, this and that. But to me, he's got a perfect knife. And the dude is just super down to earth and cool. We talked about cars, fishing, knives, this and that. He's cool to talk with other makers. They talk and share tips and tricks. Like, the guy is just super chill, and that makes this knife even better. If this knife was a 10 out of 10, it's a 12 out of 10 now because the maker itself is super cool. So, yeah. All right, this video has been 18.5 minutes. I'm sure I've been heavy breathing because I'm walking outside and I'm slowly getting into shape and I'm dying. But, yeah, I think I might do more of these. I really like the Knife Guy episode, theory, and I love podcasts. I might eventually start a podcast, not knife-related, one day, even though I'm sure we'll talk about knives on there. But, I don't know. I was in the shower one morning, maybe yesterday, I don't know. And I thought, Walk and Talk is a fantastic name / concept in my head. Maybe I'll look at this footage and it'll look like complete garbage. We're not sure. But I think a good solo podcast is pretty good. I'm out here walking every day for the most part. If it's a hurricane like what's coming, I'm probably not going to be. And I don't know. Maybe we'll do these weekly. That might work because I can film one or two on a day and, be stocked up for them, on them for a while. But let me know what else you guys want me to talk about. I don't know, random people in the industry or situations. I could talk about, random opinions of, let me think, the transparent knives, Rick Hinder situation, stuff like that, or what I think about certain things, or who knows. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you actually have anything that you want me to talk about, or I'll add it into, maybe I'll do a big episode where I've got a bunch of different ones answering questions or something. I don't know. But 20 minutes. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out. Oh, you guys know you love this. Fantastic. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.